It's a bit harder, but I can kind of talk without eating noodle in my mouth. See, it's crazy. I need a puppet. I have food. I'm gonna eat the food. You have food. You should eat your food too. And you have water. Well, unless you're fasting, then you have nothing. But it's okay. I will eat for the both of us. And when you're done fasting, you can eat ×2. Hi, I've been eating already. I'm not gonna lie. I'm starving. I haven't eaten anything all day. It's your boy Charlie. Really hope your table well. You feel as well. Part 2 to Reesa Teesa finding out that her fiance is crazy as hell. This is the next day. I said we would watch it the next day. What did I say? Hi, Noona. Apparently, Noona missed some details for like parts of the story. So should we watch like a more compiled version? Like, what parts did she miss? Can y'all tell me? Or should I just go watch the video? If I'm not talking for like the first 15 minutes, I'm just trying to get some nutrients. Here's what I got. Zaxby's funnel cake. They gave me the funnel cake for free. Very nice of them.
Quack.
Listen, this
Hi, Roger.
is part
Hi, Noona.
2. We're doing a 2-parter for this. If you guys don't know, there's a series on TikTok right now called Who the F Did I Marry? It's a 52 part. I think each part is like 10 minutes long. You do the math. I think there's like 7 hours of footage out there because they do live streams. Then they do like Q&As. They do interviews. There's so much going on. So this 52-part series started with Reesa Teesa, who is the host of Who the F Did I Marry? And she breaks down her relationship, a 2-year relationship with a master liar, a master manipulator. And I'm just going to warn you right now, she does not miss a single detail. Their story is based in Atlanta, Georgia. And Reesa, she finds out that every little thing that her husband ever said to her was a lie. And it's like the most bizarre stuff. It's not even like, hey baby, I'm lying about this. He would be on the phone for 45 minutes every single morning, but there would be no one on the other line.
Which one was like most shocking to you?
The fact that he's on the phone and there's no one on the other line. Talking to himself 45 minutes every day. And it's not even conversations that make him look good. It'd be one thing. Like, do you remember the fencing story that we did with the fencing Olympian? At least that scam artist, the time they were on the phone, they're Korean and they'd be like in English. They'd be like, okay, understand. I understand. Okay.
Chicken sandwich.
Got it. Chicken sandwich. I got it. Like, that's what they'd be doing. And it's like, okay, maybe it makes sense because they're trying to be like, I'm an English business person. But this one, it's like, yeah, what are you doing tonight? Oh, you're hanging out with your kids. Okay, for 45 minutes? Are you freaking kidding me? That doesn't even make sense. So I highly suggest that you go watch part 1 because I think that there is simply no way for me to even grasp all of the important details in a small recap, but I am going to attempt to do one in a second. But like, try to keep up because class is in session.
I'm ready. I brought food.
This recently. Like, why is this story so popular? And I think it's because, sadly, a lot of women can relate to Reesa's story, but she is a phenomenal storyteller. I was so hooked the entire time. I literally could not stop listening. I would be in the shower. I would be in the bathroom. I'd be listening to all the things that Legion lied about. And I just want to give Reesa credit because she was so dedicated. She recorded herself talking for over 7 hours. Listen, I'm not complaining, but like, people really underestimate how much your throat hurts after talking nonstop, after being a little yapper. This is what I do. I yap downstairs with my husband. I come upstairs, I yap with my mom, and then I turn on the camera and I yap some more. And by the end of the night, my throat is gone. Okay. The only thing that saves me is my liquid IV, specifically the hydration multiplier sugar-free raspberry melon. That sounds like an ad because it is,
right?
But also, I freaking love this. Like, this is my favorite flavor. It's new. I used to like the white peach the most. It's a hard toss-up between the two. I really debate every time I'm in the pantry of which one I want to reach for because both of them are so phenomenal. This is how you do it. Every single morning, just trust me on this, you get a glass of like 16 ounces of cold water. Fine, you can do room temp if you're not a cold girly. You add in a stick of liquid IV. There's just no better way to start the morning. I mean, you might as well even skip the coffee. I've been trying to do 90 60 minutes, no caffeine first thing in the morning. Liquid IV. I like to sit in the sun, drink my liquid IV. I feel more hydrated. I just feel more ready for my day. And it's more hydrating than plain water because it has 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink. It also has 8 vitamins and nutrients, and all of this is packed into a tasty drink that has 0 sugar and 0 artificial sweeteners.
Can I stick it in my veins?
I love the taste of the raspberry.
Or is that like not advisable?
Okay, so the raspberry has this slight tardiness to it, but not too tart. Also, the melon kind of reminds me of the melon ice creams in Korea. Those are really good. Yeah. Liquid IV comes in these super practical sticks that you can take with you practically everywhere. Like if I'm leaving my house, I never leave my house. But if I do, I have like 5 of these in my bag. Because the last thing I want is to pull it out and then my husband goes, ooh, can I get one? Or if you love working out, Liquid IV was literally scientifically formulated to replenish electrolytes that you lose while you're sweating. And I'll be sipping on my Liquid IV throughout the whole video because there is time for some Liquid IV. So make sure to check the link in the description for Liquid IV. And thank you, Liquid IV, for sponsoring today's video. And let's get into it.
Thank you, Liquid.
Reesa meets this man, Legion, on a dating app. She actually meets him through Facebook dating, which, by the way, Legion is a nickname that Reesa gave him. This is not his real name. So he takes her out to the Cheesecake Factory for their very first date, but her tire pops on the way
Right,
there.
after he changed her tire.
This was a whole thing on TikTok. Like, they were saying, girly, the universe is trying to give you a sign. Some people were saying, like, it's okay because he came and he fixed her popped tire.
Right.
It was like a whole thing. But from the moment that they met to the moment that they moved in with each other, which was not a lot of moments. They actually move in quite quickly, okay? I digress. For all of the moments, Legion was the perfect gentleman. I mean, he truly was. He's a family man. He spends every single day on the phone. He's so busy talking to his grandpa, talking to his grandma, talking to his aunt, talking to his stepkids, talking to his brothers, talking to his 2 sisters. Like, he's got a massive family and he calls all of them every
Who none of them exist, by the way. Just putting that out there. None of them are even real.
single day. He's like a telemarketer for his family. He'd be calling nonstop, okay? But everything ramps up when they move in during the pandemic lockdown. They move into Reesa's townhouse, and soon enough, she gets pregnant. And she's scared because she wasn't planning any of this. They were dating for marriage. So she's thinking, okay, you know what? It's a little bit out of order. Like, these are not the steps that I thought it was going to be like 1, 2, 3, but instead it's like 2, 3, 1. But you know what?
More like
maybe
3,
it's
5,
okay.
8.
It's going to be fine. This is going to be my husband eventually. Now, ever since lockdown, Reesa never had to worry about bills. He's paying the bills. I got to eye drop it up already.
What? You got to drive?
Don't cry. Don't cry. Down.
What do you mean,
You
Dan?
actually look like you're crying.
Legion was always taking care of the bills.
She didn't
So,
wipe.
you know, I know what you were thinking. Like, he's a scam artist. He's trying to get money, but he was taking care of the bills.
Yeah, that threw me
He
off.
always took care of Reesa. But once they start house hunting, this is where things start getting fishy. They start looking at houses every single freaking weekend. They go through about 25 different houses, and all of them fall through the cracks for like a multitude of different reasons. A lot of them fell through the cracks because Legion never wanted to show proof of funds.
Yeah.
POF, baby. So Legion would always brag about money. He's like, money this, money that, money this, money that. But he would never show anyone how much money really he had in his offshore account.
Because he ain't had none.
Not the off-coast account, okay? He had an offshore account. This was the point where the relationship starts smelling real stinky.
It smells stinky when he changed the tire, I guess. Wait, hold on. Someone said that, like, it's not a red flag that he changed the tire, but it would have made him feel a little weird. How, like, I really want to know what the tribe feel about that, bro. Because there's some part of me that's like, that's pretty chivalrous. But then there's another part of me that's like, I don't even know if shorty feel like that. What am I doing paying for her tires? You gotta figure out her own situation. I'll 1000% help her change the tire. But paying for a new tire for a girl I just met? I mean, I am going on a date with you, and that would set a great precedent. But you gotta be my wife for me to just do that willy-nilly. You feel me? You my wife, and your tire like pop, take my car. I'll handle it. Take the day off.
Smelling real stinky.
Stinky, stink.
Fishy. And Reesa's like,
Smell like a diaper.
I got a whiff of something.
Honey, I'm so sorry. You got like some like
Yeah, you do.
wipe it off.
You're so mean to me.
Yeah.
You're good. You look beautiful.
Reesa's relationship is starting to stink a little, okay? It's getting fishy every single day. And Reesa's
Y'all are
got
cute.
a sensitive nose.
Hi, Roger.
So she knows that something is
You look
very
a little
weird
drunk
about
over
this.
there.
She actually starts keeping up with an audio diaries. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. She would pray and then also record like an audio diary where she would just talk about the things that she's feeling in this relationship. It's not creepy. It's actually very smart. Now, back to the story though. Just to be clear, Reesa is not oblivious to the signs. She always had her suspicions, but when she starts recording these audio diaries, there is nothing that's so alarming. Like, she's not recording in there and being like,
you know what? This shit went down and it's so dumb.
like, it was always like little stuff and they're starting to add up. Like, he always had paperwork or evidence that he had proof of funds, that he had a mortgage approval, pre-approval. It was a lot. So she's staying in this relationship and she's also making sure that all of these red flags, her family doesn't see it. She wants to keep the peace. She's very big on anything that happens in the marriage stays behind closed doors. Like, we don't need to air out our dirty laundry, which is
Ironic.
yeah, which now that I say it out loud. So let's go through a little bit of the promises that Legion made Reesa. Legion would promise Reesa that he was going to buy her a house up to $900,000.
Wait! I ain't gonna lie, Reesa Teesa, you are on Good Morning America. It's too late.
Like, we don't need to air out our dirty laundry, which is
Ironic.
yeah, which now that I say it out loud. So let's go through a little bit of the promises that Legion made Reesa. Legion would promise Reesa that he was going to buy her a house up to $900,000 in
Right.
cash.
In cash.
He's going to buy it in cash, liquid assets, offshore account, cryptocurrency,
Major cap.
Bitcoin.
Amazon drop shipper, like
Amazon,
all
yo.
those keywords,
Right.
all of them.
Cash money, baby.
Then
Right.
he promised to get her a car, like an Audi, a BMW M series. You know what M stands for?
Money.
Money.
Millionaire.
Motherfucking money.
Okay, a trip to London, none of it happened.
None of it.
Not the house, not the car, not the trip to London. I mean, it got to the point where if he promised her, I have 10 fingers, she would have to check for herself.
What?
She would have to count one by one. So
Well-
she starts wondering, is this guy just getting off on my disappointment? Like, because he would talk and talk and talk. And then he would get her so excited. And then last minute, he'd be like,
Actually, I can't because the way that my offshore bank account is set up.
like, it was a lot. Everything starts to unravel. They
Awesome,
end up getting
Kevin Hart.
married. She ends up miscarrying, and it's like a whole thing. She does multiple background checks on this man, and let me just give you a rapid fire list of all of his lies.
He's a fraud.
He told her that he had
Everything.
6 siblings, 4 brothers and 2 sisters.
Cap.
He only has 2 brothers, 0 sisters.
Damn.
That's like a difference of 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of humans. He also told her that he's a pro football player at San Diego State. He's never
Cap.
played football, nor has he ever stepped foot into the state of California. But maybe he was so good that he would play football in Vegas and then throw the ball so good that it would end up in California.
oh, bro.
I don't know.
You'd have to be a
Just food for
superhuman.
thought. He said that
Right,
he met his
food for
ex-wife
thought.
and married her in California. Turns out they only lived in Georgia. I mean, this part is really bizarre because it just seems like he's obsessed with the idea of being from California.
Right,
He
why?
told her that his ex-wife cheated on him, so he filed for divorce. Turns out his ex-wife filed for divorce and she never cheated. He also told her that his stepdaughter died of COVID, that his grandma died of COVID, that his uncle died of COVID.
Like 6 people
None of them
died,
died
bro.
of COVID.
Like,
So basically, Reesa finds all of this out and she's now planning her master escape. She's tried marriage counseling. She's tried being civil, but she cannot take any more lies. Meanwhile, Legion, clueless. He's actually completely bedridden. The man suffered a knee injury, okay?
I forgot about that.
yeah, look
Oh
at me
yeah,
too.
you forgot about that, okay? He's in bed nonstop. He's not getting out of bed. First, he said that the injury for his knee was from football.
Do we know if he's actually injured? Or...
Yeah, it does seem like he's actually injured. I don't know if it's his knee. I don't know if it's in his mind. I don't know what's going on, but it seems like something is happening because he doesn't even eat.
Do
It's
we
alarming.
know if he's actually not eating?
Yeah, he's like rapidly losing weight.
Oh, okay, okay.
To, like an alarming rate.
Oh, okay. Oops.
He said oops.
No, but like valid because of all the lies. Yeah, so
Yeah,
totally
like,
valid.
nah,
But
you know what I'm
anyway,
saying?
He's like, no, it's from football.
our-
But then she's like, are you sure? Because I feel like you never played football. And then he's like, actually, I got it from work. Because remember, he's the vice president of a condiment business.
Nigga.
So I don't know if he was like,
A bottle of ketchup fell on this nigga knee, bro. Come on. Like, what is from work?
like putting his knees into it while he's like bottling up the ketchup. Okay, who fucking knows? But it's not just knee pain. He's just losing weight. He cannot eat. He cannot walk. He's relying on pain meds. The only thing that he's consuming is Powerade, but he just keeps pushing off the doctor. And at this point, he's completely immobile. He's laying in bed. Now, the best theory that people have is that
He got sick from his own bullshit.
I don't know. Okay, so while he's bedridden, Reese's got 3 new jobs. Yeah.
She's working 3 jobs?
Yeah.
FBI, CIA, and Homeland Security.
Oh my God, bro. I'm like, how did she
Just
get
opened
these?
up the floodgates of the lies. She got on the phone with Legion's ex-wife Tara,
I remember
but
this.
turns out she's only uncovered 2% of the lies. That's all we know from part 1. 2%.
Right.
The question now is no longer what else did he lie about. The question is what the fork did he not lie about?
Oh,
That's
God.
the question.
Oh,
So Reesa
God.
ends up hanging up with Tara, calling her pastor because. The man is in the guest room, just on the bed, bedridden. She calls her pastor, who also happened to be their marriage counselor. And this man, I mean, he was gooped, gagged, flabbergasted. Like, he never thought it would be this bad. Like, he genuinely thought it's not a great relationship, but
Wait,
this,
so she told everything to the pastor?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the pastor is like, wow. He asks her, do you have plans on sticking this thing out, or are you going to end it? And she tells him, hell yeah, I'm leaving. I have to. I have no idea who that man in my guest bedroom is. The comments on this TikTok read,
Alexa, play There's a Stranger in My House. I know the pastor has used your story for a sermon.
like, we just know. So the only thing that Legion has not been lying about is, like I said,
Oh,
his knee
TikTok
actually
comments
does
is
seem to hurt.
seriously
So
terrible.
Reesa never finds out about what the actual knee pain is about.
Alexa.
She's just walking past. She's just walking past the guest bedroom on a daily basis, just patrolling. She's looking at him. She's staring at him. She's trying to figure out the best way to get out of this.
Right.
He's clueless, just sipping on Powerade, but she's plotting, okay? Legion ends up resigning from his job from the condiment company because apparently, this is what he says,
There were some policy changes.
and he didn't like the policy changes, so he had to resign. It didn't make any sense. He also
course
claimed
it
that he
didn't,
got a
'cause
new
he's
job
lying.
at Apple. Here's the interesting thing, right? Is that he never turned in his old work phone for the condiment business. And Reesa is thinking, that's a little bit weird because when you quit your job, you have to turn in your work phone
you
because
gotta
there's
return
probably
the
a lot of
equipment.
confidential
Yeah.
information on there as well.
Yeah.
So she decides when Legion falls asleep one day, she's going to grab his phone, lock herself in the bathroom, and just go through all of it. She just wants to know what's going on in there.
Wait, so you're saying the work phone or his
Yeah.
personal phone?
The work phone.
So he has 2 phones.
He's got 2 phones.
Where's
Now,
the
thing is,
personal
I think
phone?
that she went through his personal phones and she did find some stuff. Remember, he was like cheating, but then he was like, it's not cheating because I didn't actually meet up with anybody. I was just cheating on you on Facebook with my words. So shut up.
Like, that's literally what he said, basically.
And then this time she's going through his work phone because she's thinking, maybe
With my
it's
words.
not
Not
a
a
work
work
phone.
phone, yeah.
Maybe it's his second phone for second girls.
Mm.
She grabs his phone, hides into the bathroom. Now, the data, all there. Rookie mistake. You would expect that a professional liar or manipulator is going to think a few steps ahead, but no. No. He's still on step 1. Reesa's like a million steps ahead. Legion is operating
it seemed
on
like.
sheer luck and vibes and audacity. Now, we welcome into the story Peaches. Reesa finds a text thread that goes all the way back to February. This is like a month after they get married. They got married in January. And apparently, Legion met a girl named Peaches on a dating app called Plenty of Fish. P-O-F. Proof of funds, bitch. Okay? Plenty of fish, but also P-O-F. Proof of funds.
What a name, too.
Right.
Plenty of Fish. It's
Yeah.
because it's a Christian dating app. Because like the fish symbol is like big in Christianity.
It's a Christian dating app.
It's gonna get
so
crazier.
interesting.
Anyway,
What?
the TikTok comments read, when you said peaches, I threw my phone. Okay. Which, side note, this is crazy. Peaches is how do you say employed? Peaches is employed. She's employed.
She's selling that
Right?
booty for
And,
some
like,
tootie.
nothing
Oh,
wrong
okay,
with that.
okay,
But like
okay,
Legion
okay,
says he's married.
okay.
This is cheating. I carry on.
I was-
So Peaches is texting Legion her prices.
Word.
She said $40 for a handy, $60 for a mouthy, but with a glove on, $80 for a mouthy with no gloves.
Legion got his peaches out in Georgia. That's all I have to say, okay?
No, and like someone needs to make a booklet.
Wait, so what did he pick?
Oh, we don't know, but like I have an idea.
mango.
I have an idea. So do you remember how Legion told Reesa that his stepdaughter died of COVID? Which is
Right.
like that's a lot, right? It's a lie. She's not dead. She's very much alive.
Right.
But he lied. And then he was like,
Doggo.
my ex-wife, she's not going to give her a proper burial. So I need to send money. But you know how my offshore accounts are set up. So can you give me $2,000 for the funeral? And I'm going to send it to my ex-wife. Reesa ends up giving him $2,000.
Wait, correction. Legion asked Reese if it was okay if he sends his ex-wife the money. So Reesa said sure. But it was Legion's money and he sent the 2K himself. Okay.
And I'm going to send it to my ex-wife. Reesa ends up giving him $2,000. He sends it to his ex-wife, but he never sent it to his ex-wife because his stepdaughter is not dead. So like, why would she need money for a funeral, right? Correct. Follow my logic here. $2,000. Now, because I'm a researcher, I'm a connoisseur. I did this for you. If Legion has $80, Legion will purchase the gloveless Gluck Gluck.
Right.
If Legion has 60,
Okay. That makes sense. You are like so different, bro. You're in tune. I ain't gonna lie, you tapped in with the lingo, but you be throwing that shit out there so randomly. Anyway, Shorty hit us with the Gluck Gluck 3000, bro. What?
now because I'm a researcher, I'm a connoisseur. I did this for you. If Legion has $80, Legion will purchase the gloveless Gluck Gluck. If
Right.
Legion has $60, this is more like a math problem.
Right, I'm
If
like,
Legion
where you
has
going with this?
$60, Legion will purchase the less desirable gloved Gluck. But
Right.
if Legion has only $40, he's gonna purchase the glove massage. Now, hear me out, okay?
Girl math. Legion math.
Legion has $2,000. So why would he, having $2,000 in cash on hand, choose to
like-
purchase any of the cheaper options?
So the question is, well, how many glug glug did he purchase?
This leads me to believe that he purchased the gloveless Gluck Gluck 25 times because, and you can verify my math, 2,000 divided by 80
It's
equals
25.
exactly 25 on the dot, no tip.
I mean, well, tip.
So my final conclusion is that Legion paid Peaches for 25 consecutive Gluck Gluck sessions, assuming one Gluck Gluck.
I really went in deep.
Assuming one Gluck Gluck takes 5 minutes because I'm assuming
I really went in deep as yo.
consecutive Gluck Gluck sessions. Assuming one Gluck Gluck.
I really went in deep.
Assuming one Gluck Gluck takes 5 minutes because I'm assuming Peaches is a pro, okay?
Peaches, she knows what she's doing.
That's 2 hours of straight Gluck Gluck.
Gloveless, may I add.
Also, that's like $1,000 per hour, so Peaches be slaying. Anyway, you're welcome. I'm a mathematician, researcher, Gluck analysis. Okay, I'm a Gluck analyst, data gatherer.
Pegasus,
Yours
you don't-
truly.
you
Put
don't
that on
wanna
my
be-
gravestone. Gluck analyst. Because after this episode, I will be dead. It was a lot. Now, other messages are Legion asking for where she lives and
Gluck
also thanking Miss
analyst.
Peaches for her hard work. 25 times. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Eventually, everything points to Legion actually acquiring her services on multiple occasions. So yeah, there is evidence that he did meet her up and he did purchase things multiple times. Which like, okay, wow, fine. Maybe it's not 25 consecutive times, but 25 sessions nonetheless. When Reesa sees these messages, she's not even phased. She feels like, you know what? I can finally breathe. The last time he cheated, he brushed it under the rug. Remember? It was so toxic. It's gaslighting. But now there is full concrete proof that this man is cheating. So she grabs her phone and takes a bunch of pictures and she starts like texting them to herself. And honestly, she's like probably slept better that night knowing that this man is a lying, cheating butthole. But before she can confront him, Legion is like, BRB, I gotta go. She's like, where are you going? Legion just decides out of nowhere that he must absolutely take a family road trip to see his family in Philadelphia.
With her?
No, by himself. So he drives 12 hours to Philadelphia with a bad knee. I don't know how he does it. I cannot tell you. That's why I don't know if it's the knee that's the problem or if it was something else. But he makes his way all the way over to see his family, and he spends about 4 days with him. Reese's back home in Atlanta, and she gets a Facebook message one day from Legion's cousin, Sid. And Sid is like, hey, can I talk to you? Because Legion's back at home in Philadelphia, and he's like talking about some crazy stuff right now.
Is
So
Sid even real?
Right?
yes. So Reesa gets on the phone with Sid, the cousin, and
Oh.
Legion has been telling the whole family in Philadelphia this wild story of why he's in Philadelphia.
What's the story?
Okay. Can you even guess what's going on?
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna guess right now. He's like, the story is he escaped from this crazy woman named Reesa Teesa. Yo, I don't know. Like, why would he say that though? Like, what would be the story? Now that I'm really thinking about it, I think this nigga is losing his marbles. I like marbles. I swallowed one when I was a kid. I swallowed a couple. Well, maybe I swallowed a couple voluntarily. I don't know. Something about how smooth they are. It appeals to my senses. Like, when I learned that he was talking to himself every day for 40 minutes, I knew this wasn't a normal, like, mentally okay nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Can you even guess what's going on? It's because I had no idea where this was going to go.
Like he was being chased. Someone's like hunting him for money. Bad crowd.
Crab?
Did you say crab? Bad crabs?
Is it bad crowd or not?
No. So he tells everybody in Philadelphia that one day he gets home to his wife, Reesa.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Husband Mango is a funny nigga, bruh. Anyway, that nigga started off that shit with, he was beating Jay. Who the hell is Bad Crab? We should have let him finish. He was low-key cooking. That sound like some shit. I'm about to call that nigga Giovanni. Who the hell is that? What's his name? Legion. Who's Giovanni?
Like he was being chased. Someone's like hunting him for money. Bad crowd.
Crab?
Did you say crab? Bad crabs?
Is it bad crab or not?
No. So he tells everybody in Philadelphia that one day he gets home to his wife, Reesa. Walks in to their marital home, and Reesa is in bed with a law enforcement officer, a cop. And to add insult to injury, Reesa stole all of Legion's money and kicked him out of the house. So when Legion is trying to fight back, like, you don't get the right to steal my money, the officer, what does he do? He pulls out his duty weapon. Doo-doo weapon. Beep
Doo-doo
boop
weapon
bop.
is crazy.
Okay. And he's like,
I'm gonna bop your ass.
this is so dumb. Okay. He's like, I'm gonna bop your ass, okay? He uses the weapon to threaten Legion to get out of the house. So Legion flees to Philadelphia. He is being chased by a bad cop, bad crab.
Doesn't the family already know at this point that he's a liar?
Yeah. He's sitting there basically being like, so that's what happened. Now, what is the end result of this story? What is it? I need money. Can I get some money, family? That's what he says, yeah. So he tells his family that he needs money, he needs to stay in Philadelphia for a few days, and then he needs to report this officer. So he wants to get this officer fired for his good reasons. He asks the cousins, can you call the agency that this law enforcement officer works for and file a complaint to start an investigation on the man who stole my wife and threatened to beep-boop-bop me with his on-duty weapon? But the cousin called Reesa instead. So Sid calls Reesa. And I thought Sid was going to be like, fuck you, Reesa, for cheating on my cousin. But Sid is like, tell me what actually happened, because I know that's not what happened. Because I know Legion's a liar. He's been a liar ever since he's been a kid. Sid said, I didn't even know that he was married.
Got your
So
dumbass.
Reesa's
Yes.
so stunned. She doesn't even know what to say. Like, he's talking to his brothers on a daily basis, but then his family is like thinking that she's sleeping with a law enforcement officer.
Right.
Like, what the fork is
Nah,
going
we
on?
got his ass.
And Sid is like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Sid is on his
whoa,
ass.
What do you mean, all of his brothers? How many brothers do you think he has? What are you talking about? He talks to like 4 of his brothers. He's got 2 brothers, and he's got an older brother, Chris, and then he has a twin brother. He has a twin brother? What's crazy is that...
Wait. I low-key even forgot about this title. He has a twin? Oh. Dang, so where the twin at? What the twin doing? What if the twin is everything that Legion, like, said he was, but actually, like, the twin is actually on that type of timing? That'd be like a crazy, you feel me? Or what if the twin is exactly like Legion? Ooh. Do we establish first contact with the twin? Why I made that nigga sound like an alien? Do we establish a first contact? What? First contact? What is that even?
How many brothers do you think he has?
32.
What are you talking about? He talks to like 4 of his brothers. He's got 2 brothers, and he's got an older brother, Chris, and then he has a twin brother. He has a twin brother?
Twin
What's
is crazy.
is that he's not only lying to Reesa, but he's spinning a different story with every single family member. The only reason his cousin Sid called Reesa was because they just felt like that's not what happened. I want to find out everything. Like, I want to know the truth. Now, at this point, Reesa's already made up her mind. Anything Sid is saying is just confirmation. So for funsies, she decides to give Legion one last chance to tell her the truth. So Legion comes back from Philadelphia. He's laying in bed one morning. His knee hurts again, okay? He just like had a 24-hour car ride, but his knee hurts again. He's laying in bed. Reesa calmly walks in,
real convenient.
sits down on the bed next to him. Can we talk? Yeah, what's up? Legion, I'm going to ask you something. Just be honest with me, okay? You never went to San Diego State, did you? I already told you. You never went to San Diego State, and you never lived in California, did you? Of course I lived in California. I fucking showed you the house in California. I told you my dad paid for me to be a private citizen. Okay. I called San Diego State. They said that they have no record of you. At this moment, Legion doesn't even look shocked. She said that his eyes looked empty. Like, he didn't look surprised or scared. He just looked at her blankly. They have no record because you never went there. You've never even been to California, and I bet that you've only lived on the East Coast. Look, I don't think this is gonna work. Now, Legion starts getting emotional, okay? Not because of his love for Reesa or even his guilt, more like in a narcissistic way. He's not gonna let this ruin his life. He's like, what? The marriage? What are you saying? You don't want to be married to me anymore? I mean, yeah, that is exactly what she's saying.
Right,
okay?
like what?
And she's like, no, I don't want to be married to you anymore. We need to go our separate ways. We tried, but we need to go our separate ways. Yeah, well, that's not what marriage is. He's like yelling at her. That's not what marriage is. Marriage is, you know what? You gotta fight for what you... She's so calm. Reesa looks at him and says, well, I don't want this, and I don't want to fight for it. I don't want you, and I don't want this. Why would I fight for it? Legion's like, no, I'm not going to give up on us. And she's like, you don't have a choice.
Bro,
so you should call your brother or your imaginary sister, and you need to pack a bag, okay? You need to get the fuck out of my house, and you need to get out of the house today. So Reesa said everything as calmly as she could. She's calculated, she's clear, she's never mentioned her call with the ex Tara or even the cousin, like nothing. She doesn't even bring up all of the 1,000 other lies that she already knows about. But Legion is not budging. He decides, you know what he does in this moment?
What?
He picks up his phone and he calls somebody and puts that person on speakerphone. Like, imagine this. Just riddle me this.
What?
If you were in a fight with your full-grown husband and he calls for backup in the middle of the fight,
What?
at that point, you call for backup with a divorce attorney because that is bizarre.
That's crazy as hell.
Possibly
Right.
in that moment.
And then the fact that he put it on speakerphone is like, oh, so you mean business, I guess, because now we hearing who you are apparently talking to. Oh my goodness, who could he possibly, like, I need to know.
Attorney, because that is bizarre.
Who could he possibly call in that moment?
Please tell
Can
me.
you take a guess?
His mom.
His banker. His private banker.
His
He calls his aunt.
Okay.
Bro, it's so weird. He literally was like, Auntie, my wife doesn't want me anymore. She's claiming that I'm lying to her, and I've never lied to her. The way Legion talks, you know what this reminds me of? Michael from Marry My Husband. Like the way he talks to his mom.
I'm gonna watch that.
Reesa is pissed because not only is he lying straight to her face, but now he's spreading lies about her right in front of her face. Like in front of her salad and her salad dressing and the whole main entree.
Salad
so Reesa
is
just kind of
government made.
I mean, she admits to this. All of a sudden, it's like everything turned red. Every fiber of her being went from being calm to just pure rage. Okay, he might as well have been laughing right in her face. Her eyes go wild. Like Carrie from Prom. Do you remember that movie? And then
I
the
do.
blood is dripping.
I actually do.
And at that moment,
I thought she was so sexy.
She was accepting the fact that she probably won't have a job tomorrow, that she's probably not going to sleep in her bed tonight, because she's probably going to be in jail, because she's going to be out for blood. Every part of her body is fucking shaking. This is 2 years of manipulation and it's about to burst. She's rocking back and forth. The adrenaline is just like coursing through her veins and she feels like she could fight every member of the Atlanta Falcons and beat them all the fuck up, okay? She said, I wasn't scared of him.
Okay, I'm done
I
with
was
the sound
scared
effects.
of me. Oh yeah. So Reesa, she's like,
Oh, you want to play this game? You want to be a little bitch, baby?
Let me call my mom.
What?
she calls her mom, okay? And remember, Reesa never told her mom about all of the lies and all of the red flags because, first of all, she doesn't want to worry her parents. She doesn't want to be a burden. And second of all, she was very big on like, you know, what stays in your marriage, you figure it out with your partner.
Right.
So she calls her mom, tells her everything. Meanwhile, she's scanning the room. She said she's looking at all the objects, the lamp, the TV, the dresser. She's scanning for weapons. She's going to throw the whole dresser at him.
She's gonna try and bonk his ass.
Because if he doesn't get up to leave, shit's about to go down. Blood will be shed. Legion's still trying to find a way out of this, like weaseling out of this. But Reesa's mom tells him on speakerphone, Legion, I am not there to control my daughter. You get your stuff and get out of the house because I think my daughter is gonna kill you.
Oh, shit.
So Reesa gave him two options. One, either you leave voluntarily, or two, you leave involuntarily.
Oh,
He's still laying
that needs a
on the bed
boom.
at
These
this
are
point.
boom-like
He's
statements.
laying on the bed. He's not even standing up, yelling and fighting. He's on the bed. So, yeah, he tries to come at her and he's yelling like, "You're not gonna do shit. Like you're talking like you've lost your mind." But Reesa is who I want to be when I grow up. Because when he talks back to her, she doesn't scream back. She doesn't argue. She doesn't let it get to her. She gets up in this man's face, nose to nostril to nostril, nose hair to nose hair, right here. I will beat you like the bitch you are.
Oh, shit.
I dare you to try me.
Oh, my God.
Also, if someone did that to me, I would never recover. I would
I ain't gonna lie. My wife wouldn't talk to me like that, but like, if my girl does approach me like that, talking about some me and you could fight, that's kind of hot, bro. Like, I'm fully locked in with you. Don't get me twisted. But if you arguing and you like mad close to my face and you look good and I can see the passion in your eyes, don't be mad at me if I just give a quick little. All right, let's continue. I'm like, we still mad at each other, but I just had to express that. You feel me? Like, you gonna have to accept that part of me. You better back up, shorty. You gonna get a quick little smooch, maybe a couple. And maybe enough to even stop the argument.
nose hair to nose hair.
Nah, she's a real nigga for that. I ain't gonna lie.
I will beat you like the bitch you are.
Oh my god.
I dare you to try me.
Oh, my God.
Man,
Also,
clap it up
if
for Reesa
someone did
Teesa.
that to me, I would never recover. I would never.
What are the comments? What are people saying?
People are going crazy. They're like, I'm going to do this from now on everywhere I go. They're like, I'm going to be at Target. They're going to be like, sorry, man, we're out of the Chobani flips.
I will beat you like the bitch you are.
It's just such an iconic line.
Bet you they have
Reesa
them
yanks the
Chobani
covers back
flips.
and
What-
starts
what did you
slamming
say?
stuff at the wall. And Legion sees, oh, yeah, okay. Now she's dead serious and she's
Yeah.
picking up a lamp So he finally gets up
Oh, isn't
after
he working
hours
out?
of going back and forth. He ends up throwing a bunch of stuff into 2 backpacks while Reesa's staring at him like she's like a probation officer. And he's getting ready to leave. He looks over at her and says, "You're really going to kick me out?"
Hell yeah.
On my birthday?
What?
Apparently it's his birthday.
Is it actually though?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, actually?
It's a lot.
Does she feel bad?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, which I don't think she needs to. So,
Yeah, absolutely not. No.
Yeah, but she does
Hell
feel
no.
bad later. She's better than me. Yeah. She
Right.
does
I'd be
feel
like,
bad.
so nigga?
So she
outta
immediately
here.
starts just trashing everything. Like she wants to get rid of anything that has Legion's fingerprints on it. Like no Legion particles are allowed. She wants to cleanse. She feels this overwhelming urge to reset her home. And she reaches down because remember, he was only drinking Powerade. Empty Powerade bottles. And then there's some that are no longer empty, but you can clearly tell they've been opened and they're not Powerade color. They're not blue or red.
A nigga piss
or
in the
orange.
bottles.
It's like yellow. And she's like, "Why does it smell?" He's been using the Powerade bottles as his personal urinal instead of getting up and going 10 feet to the restroom. Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah. So Reesa, she
Oh
goes,
my god, and he just leaving it in the room?
"Yes.
That's
Like,
so
what, on the
nasty.
bed, next to the bed?
Yes."
That's actually really disgusting.
What?
Like, I don't
So
understand how
Reesa
you...
kicks him out. She immediately changes the locks, and she spends the next
How you
hour
live
just
like this?
stripping the entire bedroom of anything that he's touched. I mean, it's not getting washed. It's literally going straight to the dumpster.
As you should.
Because he only took 2 bags with him. He left everything else. So he left his watches, his Jordans, his WWE championship belts, his suits, his work backpack.
Wait, hold on. WW... What?
I feel like it's gotta be AliExpress.
What?
Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
there was a belt and she threw it away.
Well, okay, and then he has his work backpack, his family photo album, and everything. And the plan was she was considering going on Facebook Live and filming a burn party where she just films herself burning everything. But she saw the photo album and decided against it. She felt bad.
No,
Yeah.
Reesa
I mean,
Teesa is a
she didn't
good
throw away
ass
any
human
of his
being.
stuff actually. So she just kind of gathered it, and then when she got to the photo album, she's like, "Okay, fine. This is messed up. I don't want to do this." So she does no property damage.
Wow.
0. No,
Wow.
by the end of the day, Reesa had one last thing that she needs to take care of.
What?
She gets out of the house, drives over to the bakery where she had already placed an order. She picks it up, heads to her parents' house, and they eat Legion's custom birthday cake together.
Wait, she made him a gift? A birthday cake?
Yeah, she got him a custom
Wow,
birthday cake.
That's really nice.
Prior
She's
to
such a
this,
good
Reesa
human,
had
bro.
never told her family like the full story. Like she just
They
told
ate
her
that
mom on the
nigga
phone.
cake, bro.
And
Like,
even while she's recording the TikToks in 2024, she said that her mom still doesn't know every single detail. I mean, her
Dang.
family always had suspicions about Legion. Like her grandpa straight up told Reesa, like, he doesn't look like a football player. I don't know what that means, okay?
Right.
But like her mom just knew also that something just wasn't right. By the way, another thing that happened with the company phone, Reesa would later state that she went through his company phone's photo album.
So not just his messages where he was coordinating 25 consecutive gloveless gluck glucks with peaches.
But also, she went through his photo album and she found a ton of screenshots that he had taken. So it would like be checking accounts with a balance of $9,000.
Coordinated.
Another savings account with a balance of $15,000. A $90,000 company BMW screenshot. Like a screenshot of a random house in California. Like there was a lot. A screenshot of a loan approval, an offshore account, literally called the Cayman account. The Cayman Islands. She sent all of these to her own phone and she Google image reverse searched these bitches and all of them were on Google. It was like on the first page too, which is kind of insulting. You know what I mean? Like when it's like
On the
always the first few, you're like,
Really? The first freaking few?
anyway, I digress. So Reesa's sitting back and she's thinking to herself like, oh my God.
Clap it up for Reesa Teesa, bro. She is on extreme timing right now, and I love it. I love it, bro. She is getting the answers to all the questions. This is good. I'm so sad that like she has I'm so sad this happened to her, but she seemed like a good ass human being too, though. Like, shame.
The first freaking few.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. So Reesa's sitting back and she's thinking to herself, like, oh my God, like, what the fork did I get into with my life? Like, this is not even human. So there is no offshore account. I don't even think there's an onshore account of Legion's, if I'm being honest with you. So all of his bank accounts, they're a lie. His pre-approval for the mortgage, it's a lie. Everything's a freaking lie. Turns out the job that he has, it's barely enough to pay the household bills.
Wait,
What?
She found out his real job is?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, what is
He's a
that?
temporary forklift driver at a condiment company.
So he does work for the company.
Kind
just-
of, yeah, but he's like a temporary worker. It's
He's a
giving
temp work.
Stacy from Marry My Husband. At some point, Legion's aunt calls.
Alright, big sis, I'ma watch it. I'ma watch it. We're gonna watch that, child. Marry My Husband. You can't marry Jimmy. But what is it? Kill My Husband? What is it just Marry My Husband? I don't know, bro, but we're gonna watch that. Okay? Tune in. Or don't.
Kind of, yeah, but he's like a temporary worker. It's giving Stacy from Marry My Husband.
But who the hell
At some
is
point,
Stacey?
Legion's aunt calls Reesa, and apparently Legion has been trying to come and stay with his aunt, right? But she was just like so confused. She kept calling Reesa to see what happened. Why are you guys breaking up? Like, what's going on with the family? And the conversation would end up breaking Reesa's heart because, like, all the other conversations that she's had with all these people, it's just confirmation that he's a liar. But this one was really sad. He wasn't just lying to Reesa. Legion kept telling his aunt that Reesa had the baby and he was gonna
my
go visit her
gosh.
with the newborn baby.
That's too much.
And Reesa had to tell the aunt, like, it's been a year since I've had a miscarriage. Like, that's crazy. He was like, it's a healthy baby boy. And the aunt remembers that when the baby was born, he was like texting her nonstop and just constantly she was asking for pictures. And then Legion would have a reason why he can't send a picture right now because, you know, the baby doesn't exist.
Oh my God. This is crazy. This is. Oh, I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's like this nigga just speaks with no end goal in sight. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just says shit. Literally just says any and everything, bro. Why not just say the truth? What? Like, literally in this instance, why not say the truth? It's not like your aunt gonna be mad at you or anything. Why would you lie in this situation? Like, what do you gain from doing that? Soju! Wait. I'm practicing for when I go to South Korea. South Korea. Can you even drink alcohol in North Korea? Who knows? And apparently can't go to Chernobyl. That's like sectioned off. Russia has it. So, yeah. Maybe I can go by boat.
It's been a year since I've had a miscarriage. Like, that's crazy. He was like, it's a healthy baby boy. And the aunt remembers that when the baby was born, he was like texting her nonstop and just constantly she was asking for pictures. And then Legion would have a reason why he can't send a picture right now because, you know, the baby doesn't exist. So Reesa ends up apologizing for Legion, just like on behalf of her about lying about having a baby. Like, it's just really sad, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just heartbreaking, and not just because of the aunt. Like, imagine how Reesa must have felt to hear
Yeah,
that.
to, like,
It's
relive.
like forcibly bringing all those memories and emotional scars back up. Like,
yeah.
for what? Like, what was the reason for this lie? There's no reason for it.
Actually, no
So
reason.
at this point, Reesa had talked to Legion's aunt, his cousin Sid, and she's learned that he's burned bridges with almost everyone in his family. Like, nobody trusts him enough to borrow money. Nobody even trusts him enough to let him sleep on their couch.
Wow.
Sid, the cousin,
Damn.
tells Reesa, you need to talk to Chris. Who's Chris?
Right.
Legion's actual older brother. He's the one that's going to give you all the answers.
Wait, but who's the twin
So
brother,
she
though?
gets up on the phone with Chris, and she's just trying to figure out what's true, what's not true, and here are the things that are true.
Right.
Both of his parents are dead. He does have 2 real brothers. Everything else is a lie. Now, just a side note, most of the lies that Legion told about his family were exposed by both his cousin Sid and Chris, the older brother, but like, we're gonna go through them all. Reesa would ask Chris a lot of questions, like, was your dad a retired police officer? officer and pastor. Legion had told Reesa that his dad was a retired officer from the Philly Police Department, okay, Philly PD, and that his mom was a retired teacher, and then they moved back to Georgia so that the dad could become a pastor, and he started his own church. Reesa even remembered going to church with him, and he's like, this is my dad's church, but I can't let them know that this is my dad, basically.
Why not?
Yeah, it was a lot. It
What
was a
the
lot.
fuck?
And the brother is like, no. Our dad was nowhere near a church. He never stepped foot in a church ever since the day that he was married at the chapel. He's like the furthest thing from a pastor.
Oh.
Our dad was a correctional officer for maybe a little bit, so he wasn't a cop, but his main career was a truck driver. She asked, when did you last speak to Legion? Because Legion talked to his brothers every single day. And Chris said, I spoke to him 6 years ago, after our father's funeral. Maybe Legion was talking on the phone, but it wasn't with me, because he knows that if I ever see him or if I ever talk to him, I'm gonna whip his ass. I didn't even have an idea that he had a wife. Like, that's how bad it was. So at this point, Reesa is starting to feel crazy because Legion's supposed
What? Yo, why is he lying like this, bro? This is like a sickness, low key.
So at this point, Reesa is starting to feel crazy because Legion supposedly talked to Chris every morning at 6 a.m. every morning, talking, laughing, cackling, like cracking these jokes 30 to 40 minutes at a time. But no one was on the other end.
That's so
What does
creepy.
that mean? He might as well have been talking to a fucking banana at this point.
The TikTok comments read, this man committed to talking to air for a year every single day. He burned bridges and just created new ones in his own head.
Like-
The way he's talking on his phone, I know Siri was confused.
Right.
What if Legion is under my bed right now? Y'all, I'm scared. Okay?
What if he's like talking in the middle of this series, like, yes?
Oh my
That would be
god.
bad. Legion having 40-minute phone calls with the printer.
Bro.
So Chris also said the only family member who still speaks to Legion is his twin Alex.
With the printer is crazy.
That would be bad.
Yo.
Legion having 40-minute
my
phone
God.
calls
That one
with the
got me.
printer. So Chris also said the only
shit.
family member who still speaks to Legion is his twin Alex. And that's only because he helps Legion out when he needs it. Maybe it's like a twin thing. I don't know. Legion only calls Alex when he needs money. So his twin is Alex. Legion said that he has a brother that's 2 years younger than him. Turns out it's just his twin Alex, who is actually 20 minutes older than Legion. Anyway, Legion would end up basically taking Alex's whole personality.
So Alex.
What?
So Alex is the vice president of his company. He's married.
No way.
He owns a luxury company car.
Wait. This plot twist is giving me goosebumps.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy, yeah.
And they're identical twins?
I don't know if they're identical, but
Okay, that's creepy.
yeah.
This is like a horror movie.
And he lives in a big house and everything Legion wanted to be. So,
Oh my god, you're kidding me.
no.
So everything is true.
Just for-
It's his twin.
Twin.
Oh my god, this is crazy.
Nah, that was.
It's like
that
crazy,
was
creepy, and sad all
Right.
at the same time.
right.
Yeah.
It's just a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
So
overwhelming a
Reesa
little
would
bit.
basically ask, who the fuck is Legion then? And Chris said, I don't know. Legion never had money. He never kept a job for a long period of time. He's never been to California. He's never so much as thrown a football. Legion's just always kind of been a liar. Now, one TikTok comment gives
Damn.
Reesa advice for her geographical state, and it reads,
Honestly, Reesa, if I were you, I would move to California because it's like the only place we know he won't be.
So anyway, Chris basically tells Reesa the same thing that Tara the ex told her, and everything he said was a lie. That's it, point blank. But Reesa is like, how is that possible? Like, it's mind-blowing to think that everything that you know about someone is a lie. And
Right.
also, how is it possible that he's on the phone for 40 minutes a day? People are still hung up on this. We don't have an answer.
Right. That's just
And then she's
crazy
like, well,
to me.
how's your daughter Egypt? Legion
Egypt?
apparently had a niece named Egypt. They even bought her birthday gifts before and then shipped it. Like, she was there when they shipped it to St. Louis, okay?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He doesn't
and he's
have
like, who the hell is Egypt? There's no Egypt. Chris doesn't even live in St. Louis. So where the fuck are these kids' shoes going to that they bought?
That's insane.
Going back to the store.
Just be sending to random people's house.
Yes. Side note, Chris does have a daughter, but they don't even live in St. Louis, and her name is definitely not Egypt. So Chris asks Reesa, well, what family did you meet? Like, what family members? And then she's like, well, I met y'all's aunt. And he's like,
That's not our damn aunt. That's my mom's best friend, and I don't trust that bitch.
yeah. So, like, it's just weird. Why is Legion hanging out with his mom's friend? Like, why are they going along with this? Like, what is happening right now?
It's some
Chris
weird
would end
shit
up
right
breaking
there.
down the whole family tree, and Legion's parents had 3 boys, and the rest of the family members that she's hearing about, they're all pretty much lies. He also lied about having half brothers. No, he didn't. Those 2 sisters, they're not his sisters. Like, cousin Junebug is dead. Yeah,
Who's cousin
apparently he would talk
Junebug?
on the phone with a cousin named Junebug. He's actually dead. Yeah.
That is crazy.
That's kind of
Grandma
weird,
did die,
bro.
but not of COVID. Uncle did die, but not of COVID. So it's just like anytime Reesa would get close to cracking him in a lie, he would lie that somebody died to just divert her attention, to distract her. It was a lot. Like, it's his favorite playing card.
It is.
And now all Chris could do at this point
My
is
dog
just
killed like
kinda
4 people.
sympathize. Like, he didn't really know what to say. He was apologizing for his brother, but also at the same time, Chris feels, I'm sure to a degree, victimized by his own brother. Like, it's a lot going on.
Right.
And then
right.
at the end, he ominously just kind of tells her, just run a criminal history and see for yourself. So, you guys, it's about to get crazy.
What?
Meanwhile,
What?
yeah, Legion has no idea.
Yo, I don't know if I could handle more. Pause.
So, you guys, it's about to get crazy.
I can handle
Meanwhile,
everything.
yeah, Legion has no idea that Reesa has already talked to
Pause.
3 of his family members at this point, and after he gets kicked out, Legion would call Reesa nonstop trying to make their relationship work. And Reesa would just scream on the phone like, why did you even marry me? And he said, I had to. I knew that in order to keep you, I had to marry you.
Huh?
Why didn't you tell me that you had a twin? I don't know why I lied. Why did you get fired from the condiment company? I got fired because I helped a truck driver that I wasn't supposed to help. Why did you tell your aunt that we had a baby? I never told her that. She's old and she doesn't know what she's talking about.
This nigga is lying. He's. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh yeah, he's incorrigible.
I got fired because I helped a truck driver that I wasn't supposed to help. Why did you tell your aunt that we had a baby? I never told her that. She's old and she doesn't know what she's talking about. Were you ever arrested as an adult? Nope. So you've never been to weekend jail? I don't know what that is. Since he's not telling the truth, okay, even now,
Weekend
Reesa
jail.
went to the only place that is going to give her answers, his backpack. So the backpack is sitting in Reesa's house, and Reesa would just comb through that thing. She found a pay stub from the cemetery. Oh yeah, he worked at the cemetery as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he worked at the cemetery, and remember how he took her to go see his grandparents? That was a lie. He worked there. So basically, he just took her to some random dead people's graves and pretended like they were his grandparents. I mean, that is kind of sick,
Well,
you know?
he went through the place, found something that probably matches the description.
Yeah, and the dates and like,
Oh
yeah,
my
she found his old
That's
driver's
really sick,
license,
bro.
and the address on the license was the cemetery, which is kind of freaky.
What
And Reesa
the
never
hell?
found out why. He had unemployment paperwork because he was getting unemployment for the 2 months of them being together. So Vice President who? He had a separation notice from the condiment company because he had been fired, and he was working as a temporary forklift driver. And there was a receipt for weekend jail. Now, weekend jail receipts means that someone at one point was in jail. Yeah, that's what it means. But like on the weekends, basically like, yeah, basically weekender jail is where offenders can hold full-time jobs on the weekdays, but they have to return to jail on the weekends.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like a whole thing. And she's like,
Whoa. What? So after you done working, like, do you just go home? The defendants report to jail Friday evening and are released Sunday night each week until their sentence is completed. And it allows for folks who have jobs or like is in school to continue doing that without jail messing. I mean, I ain't mad at it, bro. Weekend or jail. W concept.
Oh.
yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like a whole thing. And she's like, you went to weekender jail. And he's like, no, I didn't.
But
Reesa ran a
you
criminal
did?
background check on him, and his records would show that 1, he had a suspended license, 2, he had a suspended registration, 3, he had criminal trespassing on his record, and 4, his probably the worst crime of all, felony, was impersonating an officer. This is so unhinged, but apparently
What?
Legion went over to an apartment building in South Atlanta, and he went knocking on door to door, and he told people that he was an investigative officer and that he was looking for drugs. He would show a badge. The badge had his last name on it. Anyway, Legion would proceed to like put on a whole show. He tried to pat someone down. At one point, he tried to enter a woman's apartment trying to search for drugs. Luckily, and like, what are the odds of this? But that woman works for the local police. So she called the office and was like, what the fork's going on? Why did you guys send someone to like just randomly check for drugs? Because you can't do that.
Right.
And they're like, we didn't do that. So they arrested him on the spot.
Yo, this nigga's luck is kind of horrible. I love it. Like, what are the chances? No, let's think about this. Let's think about this for a quick little second. You picked a one like room or apartment door that is housing a local police law enforcement officer. That's crazy. Nah, that's kind of crazy. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. All right, continuing.
Can't do that.
You just
and they're
can't.
like, we didn't do that. So they arrested him on
You're
the
not
spot.
drinking your water, and I'm gonna find you.
That's how Reesa found out that her
On
husband
me.
was a convicted felon.
Damn.
It's crazy. Like, we went from vice president to inmate Legion. I mean, Legion honestly could have been an actor at this point. But this is the part of the story where the timelines start merging. So in the Legion storyline, she's finding out that he has a whole criminal
Legion
record.
storyline.
But in real time
Legion
2024,
lore.
she's like telling us about everything, right?
Right.
Present time.
Right.
But also, there's a problem.
What?
Another woman on TikTok doxed Legion.
What?
Yeah, exposed his identity to the world, even though Reesa begged everybody not to search for his identity. She said that it would just put her in a position where Legion could sue her. It would not be safe for her because she doesn't know what Legion's capable of and how pissed he would be if he gets doxxed.
Right.
It went against everything that she wanted.
Wait, so Legion is not the real name?
No.
No.
Yeah, so someone doxed Legion, and that girl is just getting a lot of hate for doxing Legion. But I mean, last time I checked, she's just doubling down. She did not take down her video, and people are in the comments like, you and Legion deserve each other. You guys are both pathetic.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So at this point, Reesa doesn't know if she can finish this story. It's taking a toll on her mental health.
Damn.
I mean, just reliving the experience and telling her stories are already overwhelming, but now Legion's been doxxed.
Right.
And then, like, there's all these random people that are side characters in the story that are coming up and, like, giving their 2 cents. It's a lot. Reesa said, it's been brought to my attention earlier today, and yes, I'm aware. I had to make a decision whether or not to finish and keep my word or to stop and disappear. So let's finish.
Oh.
Reesa wants to finish what she started, okay? So she takes us back to the Legion timeline where he gets kicked.
I ain't gonna lie, Reesa Teesa. Not only are you an incredible human being, you so kind and whatnot, but you are a warrior of a storyteller. Oh my god. And just a warrior in general, because you was willing to beat the shit out of that nigga, and I love that for you.
Wants to finish what she started, okay? So she takes us back to the Legion timeline where he gets kicked out, and she wanted to file for divorce. And he told her that he's in Philadelphia, but he's going to be back in Georgia, and she needs to know when because she wants him to sign those freaking divorce papers.
Right.
Now, the last and final step is that divorce settlement, and he just keeps pushing it off, and she's so confused why, because it's not like they have shared property, they don't have shared assets. This should be such an easy done case.
Right.
1 week after Reesa kicks out Legion, I mean, this is the first time that she's going to see him, and it's to sign divorce papers. It was bad. He was wearing the same clothes that he was wearing when he got kicked out 7 days ago. His nails were long. She said that he looked and smelled like he hadn't washed his body in at least 3 days. Reesa would say he stunk. He smelled like the Chattahoochee dump on a hot summer Georgia day. And he used to be like a size 3XL, but now he was probably a large. So he still wasn't eating, and he almost looked emaciated. And so for a moment, she doesn't even recognize this man. So her heart kind of broke. I mean, it was painful, but she's got to push forward. Like, what is she going to do, right?
No, facts.
They meet up at a UPS and they get a notary to sign off on the divorce.
UPS.
He doesn't even read the divorce papers. He just signs them and that's it. And as they're walking back to their cars, she can just tell he did not go to Philadelphia to be with his family. He was sleeping in his car.
Damn.
So she asked him, have you eaten anything? She gave him $5 to go buy some chicken nuggets. And it was just, yeah, it was just kind of a sad situation. At one point, Reesa noticed that she's getting an allergic reaction on her finger because, and like, honestly, this is going to make it not so sad anymore because
Nigga was so dirty. Yo, ain't no way he was so dirty he made her allergic to him.
yeah, it was just kind of a sad situation. At one point, Reesa noticed that she's getting an allergic reaction on her finger because, and like, honestly, this is going to make it not so sad anymore because she's allergic to nickel. And remember how he gave her such a shitty proposal where he basically just threw the ring on the table and was like, you want to marry me? The ring that she picked out was from the Mall of Georgia. Well, he actually bought her an engagement ring on Amazon for $34.99. $35.
Wait, I'm confused.
They went to the Mall of Georgia. They picked out a ring, and then the people were like, "We're gonna ship it to you." And I guess he probably called and was like, "Don't ship it to me," and then ordered one on Amazon.
Oh my goodness.
So he ordered like a $30 ring.
$35 ring.
It was making,
Wow.
It
bro.
was really rough.
Damn. This
After
is
he signed the divorce papers, he just kind of fell off the face of the planet. So Reesa starts getting nervous for him because he's living in his car. He clearly doesn't have enough money to pay for anything, like especially food.
Right.
She starts reaching around to see if anybody's been in contact with him, just so she could get, I don't know, like
Closure?
proof of life, right?
Yeah, or that too. Yeah.
Everyone she reaches out to wants nothing to do with him.
Damn.
She said it was actually kind of a sad moment. Like, as much as she was so upset with him and as much as she hated him for what he did, it was pretty sad.
He technically
And
has
in
nobody.
the 2 weeks that Legion disappeared, he had checked himself into a behavioral hospital. And once you're admitted, they take your phone away. But he did not admit himself because he wanted mental help. It was for shelter. It's the middle of July in Georgia. It's hot. It's damp. It's humid. So for 2 weeks, he's there to get out of his car and just have like a bed to sleep in. But he would lie to Reesa later and he would say that he admitted himself because he was having some dark thoughts, which I feel like if that's not true, that's pretty messed up again.
That's pretty
it's like
messed up.
pretty manipulative
Yeah,
and
it
messed
is.
up to lie
Like
about
100
that.
like
so
100%
she knew
so.
immediately? That's why he...
No, he told her later.
Oh.
Yeah, but it seems like that's why he admitted himself. Yeah. Now, anyway, after 2 weeks, he starts going back to blowing up Reesa's phone. He's calling her, texting her nonstop, basically being like,
Hey, babes, I'm coming home.
and she's like, what the fork are you talking about? This is where it gets crazy. He's got legal right to come into her house because they're married. It's their marital home.
So they're divorced.
What?
But it takes time to process. They filed the divorce papers. It was not approved by the judge yet. So she's got to wait for it to get approved. Until then, she even went to the police, and the police told her, you've got 3 options. Let him in and live miserably together, let him in and stay in different rooms, or let him in and we can film everything in this house so that you know that it's the way that it is when he leaves, and then you can leave. But either way, you got to let him in. Like, there's nothing you can really do about it.
Like,
Yeah. So she starts freaking out. And remember how she used to work for like the Georgia Patrol, right?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
she's talking to them about like, is there anything else I can do? Because I don't want to let him into my house. Like, that's crazy.
Right.
And they actually look into it. They find out that he has an active warrant for his arrest. He broke his probation. So they decide simply to arrest him.
Yup.
He gets arrested in the driveway of Reesa's house. Like, neighbors are coming out, they're filming the whole thing. Like, it was so embarrassing, she said. It was just really bad. And at the end, he's like getting upset with her. He's like trying to confront her. He's like, I just want to get my stuff. I just want to get my TV. Reesa's like, the TV? You gave me the TV in the divorce. And then he's like, yeah, that TV. Like, I'm sorry. I'll never bother you again. I just need my stuff. And Reesa flips out. She starts screaming, you have me out here with 4 fucking police cars. You have embarrassed me to no end. You've made a fool out of me. Fuck, you're sorry. I never want to see you again. Yeah, so Legion gets arrested, and
I mean,
the officer
Reesa
told
Teesa
Reesa
está
that he was having like
rompendo.
a full mental breakdown.
Pene.
So it was a lot. It was a lot. And that same day, Reesa would check her mail, and the divorce was finally approved. and she broke down.
Oh wait, this isn't. I mean, this was sad,
just
bro.
really
But
rough.
like,
Then he did try to reach out again by calling her new workplace, but she threatened him and said, if you keep contacting me directly or indirect me, I will get a restraining order. And that was the last time they talked until the TikTok series. So Reesa finally comes to terms with the simple fact that Legion never loved her, does not love himself. He doesn't even like her. He liked the fact that he could manipulate her. And she doesn't feel like the same person that she was before. She said that she's like a shell of a person. Like, it was so much trauma for 2 years. He not only wasted her time, but it was a lot going on. It was like a level of cruelty that she never expected from another human being. And Reesa
Damn.
just didn't really understand why someone would do something like this, but she later said in a TikTok that the older brother Chris stated Legion was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and schizophrenia when he was younger, but as he got older, he refused to take his meds. Yeah, Reesa had no idea about any of this. It was a lot. So I don't know if
so when he was talking on the phone, he was really talking to somebody, just not somebody that we could ever hear. But he said he was talking to family members, though.
and schizophrenia when he was younger, but as he got older, he refused to take his meds. Yeah, Reesa had no idea about any of this. It was a lot. So I don't know if that's what's going on here. I don't know. But get this.
Legion is a self-proclaimed relationship coach on Instagram.
He said he's a relationship coach on Instagram. And I'm just going to summarize some of the stuff that he says on Instagram. But like he acts like he's talking to a female audience.
Which I guess he is because I was listening, right?
Wait, so he's famous on Instagram now?
Not famous, but like he's trying to make a career as a relationship coach. Legion wants women to know that it's okay for us to be emotional. And when I say listening, I mean like I'm literally listening with my ears, but I'm not listening as in I'm not internalizing this information. It's wild. He said, women, it's okay for you to get emotional on your period as long as you don't make your man feel it. Because when we act like buttholes, they are going to feel it. And then later, Legion goes on to talk about Reesa. He basically states, and this is wild, that Reesa took advantage of him and essayed him, that she cheated with a man named Bradley, and that's why they got divorced. He showed his divorce papers and called everybody haters. He said that there's two sides to every story, and Google is wrong sometimes. He even we think it's doctored messages between him and Reesa and made it seem like Reesa had HIV. The messages read like this. Legion goes, Reesa, why are you lying on me? You know that's not right. I need to pay my rent. You could have asked me for money, Reesa. You didn't need to lie on TikTok for clout. I'm sorry. I spent my money on HIV treatments. I have HIV now too because you messed around with Bradley and got me sick. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything I've done to you, Legion.
Nigga named Jerome. I'm a man of God, so I forgive you. Can we fool around again? This is like so obviously like, oh my God. It's almost painful. It's actually astoundingly painful. There's no way he read this and thought it was gonna work. There's not a single shred of remorse in this nigga heart. Send him to Azkaban, nigga.
Because you messed around with Bradley and got me sick. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything I've done to you, Legion. Legion says, I'm a man of God, so I forgive you. And then Reesa responds, can we fool around again? Legion responds, you got me sick and I'm keeping it peace. So you got these people hating on me, attacking me on the internet.
Wait, what is this text message?
Yeah.
Fake
he
text
screenshot
messages.
text message?
Yeah, but they seem like very fake.
Yeah.
Oh. Bro.
Oh, sorry, I'm keeping it Peaches, is what he said. Like he's like dating Peaches now or something. I don't know. It's a lot going on. And then he came out on TikTok to say that he's suing Reesa and like it's just there's a lot going on.
Oh my God, this is ongoing.
Yeah, and the comments on Legion claiming to be suing Reesa are lawyer's gonna ask for proof of funds and it's gonna be a dead end from there. Yeah, there was also one point where he faked a project with Netflix. Like he green screened himself into the Netflix headquarters and was like, day 16 of filming, I'm exhausted. Like, y'all gonna see who's lying when this story hits the big screens.
About what's going on. Wait, so everything he's doing kind of is like proving the story.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like his TikTok got banned. So he went on to have like a whole interview. Yeah, it was just a lot. People are commenting. Legion is the CEO of the Red Flags Association, y'all.
Oh,
I'm scared. I feel like Legion is in my closet. Legion lie like a rug.
What does that mean?
He keeps
Like lying.
Like a rug. You lied.
That's good.
So
That's
he
good.
did this really long interview, like 2.5 hours long, okay? And I think I need therapy after listening to it.
2.5 hours?
One of the top comments is, for 2 hours straight, this man managed to answer 0 of the questions. That is honestly a talent.
Where's the interview?
Like, he honestly could have been a politician with the way that he's doing it.
I ain't watching that shit.
But
I just
he's
want to see what
like
the nigga look like.
refuting everything. I mean, he's just being like, I do own a house. Reesa's like a money-hungry girl that wanted me to buy her a house and wanted me to buy her a car, but she doesn't even understand the value of money. Like, he was just saying a lot of these things, saying that he's not a liar, Reesa's a liar, like all of this. Like, Reesa essayed, like, just a lot. Reesa cheated on him. And then he's like, oh yeah, the whole brother thing where I lied about having brothers. I wasn't actually lying because
They're my brothers. They're my bros.
it's crazy.
They're
He
my
also
brothers and sisters.
he did state that he does have an offshore account and all of these things, and how he makes $93,000 a year and Reesa only makes $33,000, and his ultimate end result of all of this, like his takeaway from this situation with Reesa, was that he needs to marry someone on his same income level. Basically saying that because she's so broke, she wanted all these things like a house and a car, and he didn't want to give it to her, so now she's spreading lies. Like, that's the vibe he's trying to give.
These are lies that sound good in your head, but as you're saying them out loud, they sound crazy. So you try to like finagle your way out of the situation, but you're making it worse and worse and worse. In a way, he called her broke. So he called her too broke to marry properly? What? That's like so fucked up, bro. You're not rich enough so we can't get married. You got it, Jerome.
Car, and he didn't want to give it to her, so now she's spreading lies. Like, that's the vibe he's trying to give.
Jesus.
I don't even know what to say right now. I
Jesus.
don't know what to say.
I don't
He
even
also
know.
states that he's dating a new girl and that she's like his ride or die. Her dad works for the FBI and was
Right.
able to background check him. Yeah, and then there's parts where he'll like talk to her during the interview,
No.
and you can hear her laughing in the background, and people think it's a laugh track because it just doesn't sound right.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yo, he is like,
Yeah, so
this is
it's
bad.
just a lot. I don't know what else to say about it. But Reesa's moved on. She's not like responding to him. She's not letting this bother her. Like,
Good.
she's finally got her blue check mark on TikTok. She got
Yeah.
re-added to the creator fund because like briefly she was taken off of it. So there were speculations about how much money she made with these like 52-part series.
Uh-huh.
She made like no money. Yeah, she made no money because she was taken off the creator fund, but now she's back on it. All these car brands have been reaching out to her, trying to use her as promo because like the whole car saga, right? But then it ended up not working out. People got really mad at BMW because they kept being up in her comments, trying to be like, we'll get you a car, we'll get you a car. They kept using her as promotion, and then they never got her a car.
Come on, be
moving like that.
That's
Right.
what I'm saying. Like, get the girl a car. Get her an
Just-
M series for that
Right.
motherfucking money.
Get her
I don't know what
I8.
to say, yeah. Anyway, all the comments are like, plot twist.
BMW is pulling a Legion.
But Reese's redemption arc is just getting started. Yeah, she's doing everything on her bucket list.
She's
She
on
made
Good Morning
merch
America.
That says proof of funds and
Oh,
I
that's hard.
survived Legion
That's
and
hard.
all printer no facts. She's gonna go to Europe. She's taking herself to London and Paris with the help of a few people and like a few companies. She's calling it hashtag Reesa in Europe. Apparently Delta offered free plane tickets. Several hotels offered complimentary stays. Like there's a lot going on. So she was on Good Morning America recently?
I know.
Yeah.
I saw.
So, I mean, at the end of
Slay.
the day, Legion is out of her
Slay
life.
queen.
And we're just
Wow,
happy
what
for
a-
Reesa.
what
I'd
a-
love to slay
what a,
somebody.
like turning
Wait.
some trauma into like.
Right.
Yeah, and then he's trying to like kind of re-traumatize her,
Yeah.
which is crazy, but
Let's go.
yes, get her a BMW. What are you doing, BMW?
Let's
BMW
go.
stands for
Break my waist.
Be my.
Be My Wife.
Oh.
BMW, you need to propose to her. Oh my god. But what are your thoughts on this? Because that's a bizarre saga. I feel like we don't even have all the answers that we want. Like,
Right.
was he really just talking to himself? I'm so hung up on this. Was
Yeah,
he
me
really
too.
just talking to himself every
Have
morning?
we contacted
So
the
he's
brother, the
public
twin?
Now. He's
Yeah.
also like out here now.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
he's out there, out and about, face and everything.
Out and about
Face,
is.
name, everything.
Ooh.
Yeah. But what are your thoughts on this? Please let me know in the comments. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to check out Liquid IV linked in the description. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.
I'm gonna put. I'm
Bye.
gonna put. You have a husband. It's okay. I'm your little brother. I will put it in my veins. The liquid IV. Okay. I'm just making sure that we clear on that. Wait. Did I just rebuff your kiss by kissing your? I'm gonna just take that. Bro, what the? I'm a little tipsy. So please excuse like literally everything that I'm about to say, do. And also please excuse the what? I'm like so I can't believe he turned out to have like a mental problem. I kind of suspected, but schizophrenia? Does that mean that he was like really hearing somebody on the phone, bro? Or I don't know how schizophrenia works, and I don't want to make any assumptions, but oh boy. Hold on, I want to see what this nigga Legion look like real quick. Give you 1 second, you beautiful human being.
She wanted to live a bigger life than I was planning on living. What are you putting into this? Her car that she was driving at the time was trash. What happens if I lose my job? I get sick. I get this, I get that. You spend money every day you step out the door.
He's telling the family that I stole his money.
I'm trying to be financially smart because you just go out and spend, and you only putting a quarter back.
She said, one thing you need to know about Legion. She said, whatever he tells you, it is a lie.
That's not it. You know, and she did it for likes.
He's so bald! Ah, smack this shit out your head, boy. I love bald people. But like, I like friendly bald people. I don't like this nigga. He seems weird. It's only 19 seconds.
You only putting a quarter back.
We not watching this whole
One
thing.
you need to know about Legion. She said, whatever he tells you, it is a lie.
That's not it. You know, and she did it for likes.
I thought I knew, but I truly had no idea who the fuck I married.
Hey. What?
Thoughts, views, and opinions expressed in this video do not reflect upon the host. This is a direct reflection of Jerome McCoy, aka Legion's point of view. From the time of this video, any physical evidence to confirm or deny Reesa Teesa's story has yet to be disclosed. Jerome was interviewed several times as new information was released. Today's a very special day. I'm here with a guy who, over the last week, has grown extremely popular on social media.
What good, bruh?
Not for a very favorable reason.
I'm going to go in order from the time we met until the time I got our divorce decree in the mail.
Hi, my name is Jerome McCoy. Y'all been saying Legion or what name that Teresa decided to give me, whatever. I'm only here, honestly, because I didn't see the stories until like part 20, and a good friend hit me up and was like, hey, it's your ex-wife, and she on here, you know, she bashing you or whatnot. And I didn't know nothing about it. I literally still haven't watched a lot of it. I just paid attention to like the footnotes. Somebody like watched the whole thing and gave me like a microcosm of what she was saying because they knew it wasn't true. And then I honestly wasn't going to respond. Nobody said anything to me. Only when I got family members getting harassed, you know, my godmom at work and people coming up to her, and then my niece couldn't go to school because of it. Got another niece that had to move out of Atlanta, and she came back home, her mom, because of all this. So for me, when I heard about it, I was going to ignore it. still ignore it because it didn't bother me. But then I heard the unfortunate story about the gentleman with the same name, his house being vandalized, and then people harassing him, and then another gentleman with the same name. I think that I'm not mistaken. I think somebody had wrote like they took a shot at him. So for that reason, I said, all right, let me come put a stop to some of this. Some of the people I went to school with, good friends of mine, been getting harassed. And
I smell the cap on your skin, nigga. Whoa. I'm just saying. Nigga talking about 3 different nieces. And 2 different whatever his name is. Jerome. Josh, should we watch this in its entirety? Let me know. I'm gonna only stop it here because this video is long. I ain't trying to make it too long. Would y'all watch this with me? Let me know, because I'll watch this and roast this nigga the entire time. Hold on, let me watch like a couple more minutes.
I got friends of mine getting harassed. I got my brother, you know, he had to make a statement for his job.
Bro, your brother don't like you.
And even I had to go to workplace and make a statement and find out what was going on, and then
nigga, do you even got a job?
Legally covered before I jump on camera, start talking loose like some people doing. A lot of things had to come in place for me to jump on here. And then the funny part in between that, I see ex-girlfriends that I ain't talked to in forever, ex-wife that I mean, and it's crazy because I'm like, what?
When he told me this, I was in the kitchen laughing.
Allegedly,
Miss Teesa, where we going?
Wife came out and did a 50-part series on TikTok about what transpired in y'all's relationship and
bro, you
all the
floating
stories
in the
and
sky?
all these things that she felt like you know, she
Hold on, this nigga on some me type shit. I like your vibe. Simply Wavy. That's an interesting name, bro. So his first name Simply, last name Wavy. Okay, bet. Hi, Mr. Wavy. I'm not calling you that. What's up, Simply?
and all the horror stories and all these things that she felt like you know, she needed to come out and say. First things first, I just wanted to ask, you know, explain the conditions and how you guys met. About the
boy, you're gripping the mic like it's a sausage.
The money situation and the job.
I met her. I was doing a work thing, and after work, everybody wanted to get together to eat. I mean, we had like one of the most stressful weeks at my job that we could possibly have. So we all
nigga, ain't you a forklift? Whatever, bro. Right. Work thing stressful,
like one of the most stressful weeks at my job that we could possibly have.
Right.
So we all was like Cheesecake Factory. You in Atlanta, you know anything about Atlanta, everybody go Cheesecake Factory. Me, it's my favorite restaurant. Don't eat there too much because you're gonna get fat. But I mean, it's a good place to eat. We all went there to eat, honestly. I was there. She was there with 2 of her roommates.
Good joke, buddy.
Met. She seemed honestly like a really nice girl, nice lady, honestly, very funny, really smart. We exchanged numbers and we decided to meet back there a week later. The next week, I actually could not meet her back there because, again, I had work. Then the week after that, she called me up. We was like, Cheesecake Factory, cool. So I was on my way to meet her there. She called me on the phone, said that she had a problem with her tire. Asked her what was going on. She said she had a piece of metal in it or something. She put some air in it and was on the way and was going to meet me. Then she called me like 20 minutes later, said she couldn't do it. She couldn't meet me because of the tire and she needed help.
I heard a boom and I lost control of my car. Did not crash, but my tire blew out.
Are we going somewhere else? It's nighttime now.
I don't know what to do. Like, I'm a damsel in distress kind of thing.
No, she didn't have roadside assistance or anything like that. So I was like, all right, cool. And I was just going to go and be done with it. But
why is your quality on Minecraft time?
Don't be the woman on the side of the road. Like, my dad was real big on, you know, you can help. So I was like, all right, cool. Tell me where you at. Send me your location. Boom, she sent me a location. Long story short, I went, helped her get her tire fixed. Went to a tire place.
Do I got anything on my mouth, Trop?
No and love. He fixed the tire. Really didn't charge me much of anything. I paid for the tire. And we ended up going to dinner after that. We talked, hit it off. And we ended up spending almost 24 hours together just talking. Really. She interests me because she is like highly intelligent. Teresa, not stupid by any means. So that's how I got started, honestly. She was very open, and I was very open about what was going on with me, which was nothing, but I just worked way too much at that time. I was working way too much. As anybody, you just trying to make money. Back then, my motivation was I just want to make as much money as possible. I had nothing to tie me into anything other than just get some money.
We both had established we were dating for marriage. It was a good vibe. We sat in his car and he played this song for me by John Legend. John Legend was talking about, I think I met my wife tonight. And I thought it was a sign. So I was like, oh my God.
That was how I got started. After a couple of weeks of talking on the phone, dating, again, she grew on me, as any relationship, you like somebody.
Something about this nigga just maybe it's because I
she
know.
came to the studio apartment a couple times. I had been to her house a couple.
But even if I didn't know, something about him would have threw me off. I'm telling you, bro. I got a good real radar. Gator? What the hell? I got a good radar for bullshit, and it's been pinging. I feel like Spider-Man right now. Who? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I had been to her house a couple of times. Now, friends of mine I work with, we talked about her and they advised me, hey, this Atlanta, be careful because you're making this money, you're doing your thing. You don't want to end up just in a situation where you end up paying for stuff and doing stuff. I was raised where, man, you try to take care of your woman best you can do. I mean, I'm a car guy. I love cars. So for me, if she had a problem with her car, I help her. And over the coming weeks, she had a lot of problems with the Nissan Rogue she was driving. So I help out. I wasn't going to have her. I even drove her car to work a couple of days just to get some stuff fixed on it, because I know guys that work on cars and I know a lot. So just to get that situation in a better position. Then, the relationship grew. And then the pandemic hit.
But everything was going great. The issue was, where are we going to quarantine? When he came to my house, I had a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath.
and W side profile awareness.
In the studio. I was like,
wrong phrase of words.
He kept telling me like, this is temporary because I'm looking for a house. Like, he showed me the email from a woman who worked at the company. She was putting him in contact with a realtor to help him find a townhome or a single family house.
So the apartment is just the apartment I lived in during the week during work. I lived other side of Atlanta. So for me, going to the house, this was 5 minutes versus driving an hour and 10 minutes with traffic to my house.
So you already had a house?
Yeah.
So that wasn't mentioned in the story. I don't know if you know that, but
yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, she said that all you had was the studio apartment. So you had a house and a studio apartment.
Yep, stayed at a studio apartment through the week because traffic in Atlanta is horrible, and trying to get home and get back and wearing out. I'm wearing myself out in the afternoon getting off work. And I'm in the car for 2 hours. Whereas studio apartment, 15 minutes. She lived in Riverdale.
Nigga went from 5 minutes to 15 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes to 2 hours.
Be there during the week because I would be at work sometimes 8 o'clock, and then having to drive home, get up, make that drive, this studio apartment. And a couple people that work with me, we all did the same thing. We all rented out of this building because it was easier for a lot of us.
I did not realize inviting him to my home probably made his eyes go, oh shit, she's a keeper. She got this 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhouse, and I'm in like a little studio.
Miss Teesa, where are we going? You've been driving this whole time. Oh, you still on part 2, so never mind. My fault for interrupting. Let me shut the hell up. You're doing beautifully right now. Shouts out to you.
3-bedroom, 2.5 bath.
My fault. I didn't mean to kiss you.
And I'm in like
please don't.
Studio.
Please don't hurt me.
Yeah, let me go ahead and pursue this. What I need to do to quarantine here.
Because I heard in the story where she said that we quarantined together during the pandemic. And I need to clear that up because during the pandemic, like we're Zooming and we FaceTime. I got her into using Apple products, iPhone, and we FaceTime. During the pandemic, she worked from home. I still had to get up and go to work. And because people at my job were coming down with COVID left and right, I didn't think it was a good idea for us to physically see each other because COVID in Atlanta was horrible. The city was shut down. I'm not an essential worker, so our job had to apply for us to be able to be out in the morning. So I would have to get up in the morning time, go to work, and come home. I don't want to be around somebody, and I'm around people all day long. They've been out in the community moving around. So if I got sick, I'm gonna get her sick. So during the pandemic, when she said that
Nigga, what's your job? You just skirting around that shit. Just state the job. You pixelated looking. Take that beanie off.
we were together, yeah, we were talking, we were boyfriend and girlfriend, but we were not in the same house together. It was almost 5.5 months that I didn't physically see her. I saw her like I'm seeing you. I didn't spend any time in that house with her because I didn't want to get her sick if I got sick.
So y'all weren't quarantined together then?
No.
I didn't want to quarantine by myself. So he moved in. We talked about the bills. Let me clear something up that I said in the other video where I said he paid all the bills. He paid all the household bills. He did not pay my car payment, my cell phone, or my car insurance. He paid the rent because my rent at the time was less than $1,000. When he's telling me that he...
Whoa! Where you live at? Hold on. You live in Georgia and I live in Georgia. Did I just box myself? Where you live at where your rent less than a van? Hey, I might be seeing you soon, Miss Teesa.
The rent, because my rent at the time was less than $1,000.
Oh wait, at the time?
He's telling me
it's probably
that
changed
he's
now.
a regional manager. I was like, wow, okay, so you got money.
So when you first met her, do you feel like it started off about money?
No, absolutely not.
I was gonna say, because like when you were talking about the job and everything like that, it was just casual conversation. It wasn't like, hey, look, I got all these big things coming up and this is what my situation is now, but this is what it's gonna be. You don't think that like none of that played into y'all's relationship at first?
No, I mean, I told her in the beginning my job was demanding at times, and it was. And then I did charity work on top of it. And it was something that I wanted to do. My grandfather used to do it, and he got me into it. A guy that two gentlemen that are not my brothers, but I call them my brothers. A long time ago, both of them like just looked out for me, and because when my father died, they just stepped in like father figures, but they're like big brothers to me, and they did some of the same charity work. So I just wanted to lend a hand and help them help people, and it's just something good to do. Ain't nothing better.
What is he talking about? Like, why did they start bringing up charity and all that?
And help them help people, and it's just something good to do. Ain't nothing better than helping people who need it.
I am not, this is where it's not gonna make me look good, but it's the truth. It was intoxicating to not have to worry financially about how to pay the bills.
That will make you look bad.
Feeling. And so
that makes you real.
I kind of pushed to the side the fact that you shacking up, because it's like, but your page, you don't have to worry right now. Like,
right.
He's taking care
you
of
good, yeah.
all of April's bills
I feel
before
you.
April even comes, because this
is
still March. And then we have a conversation about house.
Was there a turning point in this situation? Like, was there a certain point where you were like, okay, I'm noticing she's starting to be on edge about stuff?
I told her in the beginning pretty much everything about me, and I told her there's certain things I wasn't going to discuss with her because I felt like, as a girlfriend, not your business. How much money I make, not your business. My exact finances, not your business. She knew for a fact I had money because, again, I bought dinner. I did everything. The first time we went out, yeah, she paid for hers. I paid for mine. After that, she didn't buy another meal.
For the whole time y'all were dating?
Yeah, no, never again. Never paid for food again. Never. And that's fine because kind of guy I am essentially. If I ask you on a date, obviously I'm paying. That's how I feel. I know somebody gonna be like, no, man, I'm cutting it down the middle. No, honestly, if I ask you out, then I have full intention of I'm taking care of dinner. One of the reasons I did pay for everything other than that is she had told me about her job. She was very open because she told me about the Nissan Rogue that she was driving. She actually showed me the loan paperwork And I read over it, and I saw that, she was paying very high interest rate on a truck that really wasn't worth it. I mean, she was paying 3 times what the truck was worth. Um, Not to mention paying student loans, getting up, going to work every day. And actually, like, some of the supplies for her job, she was buying herself.
This is when he showed me a letter from Chase with the Chase logo at the top, stating that he had been approved for a mortgage for a $750,000 mortgage, or a $750,000 house. So he was like, we can't go over 750. And I said, I remember asking him, can you afford the mortgage on a $750,000 house? Because I know I can't. This is when he explains to me, I told you how I played arena football. I invested my money really well.
What was going on with the housing situation, with the cash offer? Like, what was the proof of funds?
I told her she wanted, because like I said, she knew about my house and then hers. She wanted to, and this is after we got married.
And again, this is April 2020. This is before we got married. So at the time, he was my boyfriend. His whole attitude.
Because like I said, she knew about my house and then hers. She wanted to, and this is after we got married.
And again, this is April 2020. This is before we got married. So at the time, he was my boyfriend. His whole attitude was, you're going to be my wife, happy life. And the home was listed, I believe, roughly 400 and something thousand. He's telling me he put an offer in. I need to clarify some things he told me and the things that I actually saw.
She wanted to get a house that we both could live in together. I told her, we looked at her credit, we looked at mine. When we looked at her credit, it wasn't good. So I talked to a financial advisor I know, and my brother, Miguel. He's not my blood brother, but he, like I told you, he gave me some good advice. He said, listen, bro, you want to go into a house with this woman, I'm advising you not to do it, but if you're going to do it, she don't have the capital. So what you're going to have to do is it's going to be you. So if you put her on the loan, you're going to pay more. So you might as well just put yourself on there and take care of everything. And you can put her name on the house as just someone living there. So when we talked about it, she agreed to it, but we were still into this marriage. And I told her, I'm not comfortable with buying a house with you just yet. I'll sublease my house out, and we can live, somewhere, or you can do something different. We can figure something out. What she didn't do, and this was the first red flag for me, is she signed a 2-year lease at that house in Riverdale, and she didn't tell me anything about it. The only way I found out about it, because I asked her, because it was coming close to the time to renew the lease, and she said, I already signed a 2-year lease. Why would you do that?
In October, we looked at
We're home!
This house was in Marietta. Absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, shit.
It was gorgeous. I want to say that the house was about $700,000. I really liked the house. I could see myself living there. I could see myself cooking there. So subsequently, my ex-husband put in an all-cash offer on that house.
I like your hoodie.
I watched him put an all-cash offer in on the house.
So at that point, for me, like I told her, my house, Douglasville, I'm not getting rid of that, because for me, I just didn't want to, honestly. No side story. I just didn't want to. And I went to her like, well, we can live out here. She got an aunt that was living in like Dallas, Georgia. And I'm like, we'll be closer to her if you want to go out there and see your little cousin or your grandfather or something like that. So we left the situation up in the air. All this looking at houses, she went and looked at a couple of houses. I looked at 2 houses where her, I liked both of them. Both prices were a little needed to be negotiated, but at the time, they wanted to give her a promotion at GSP, and I'm like, why don't you just take the promotion? Because then you can start paying down some of the student loan. I'll help you do that. Let's get your credit up here so that we can go into this house together. Because if I go into it by myself, I don't have a problem doing that, but we got to clean your credit up because we're married. And that means your credit is my credit. So let's get that cleaned up. She wanted to push
Proof of funds? You ain't got that, do you? Let's just talk about the proof of funds, bro. I'm gonna swallow this. I'm not gonna lie. And it's gonna be okay. Don't worry. I should probably stop messing with it. I really think I can make a career out of. Well, it's gonna take a long time to do that. I ain't gonna lie. Oh my god! Focus up.
push to get out of that house. And I said, if you want to get out of the house, you can move in up here where I'm at. But again, buying a house, your credit's not high. It just didn't make sense. Let's get your debt down. Anybody buying a house, you know this. Your credit bad, you ain't buying no house. If your credit good and the person's credit not so good, you're gonna pay more because the person on the loan's credit isn't stellar. And I was trying to help her get that together.
As far as the loan, what made her look for these high houses for $700,000, $600,000 if she didn't have no credit for that?
I didn't tell her to look for a $600,000, $700,000 house. That's a question for her. I don't know. I told her, I don't care who we are in Atlanta. The house that I lived in, Douglasville, I got at an auction, and I only paid $125,000 for a house that's probably around $210,000, $230,000 house. So $600,000 house. I'm like, I'm not going in with that and your credit like this because we're gonna be paying forever, or I'm gonna be paying forever.
But what I'm trying to figure out, so was the Chase loan, like the approval of the $700,000, was that a real thing? Or I
never went to my bank and needed to get approved for a loan.
I think the part that, was just kind of unclear is that the money was there though. You're saying like the proof of fund, like when you were going to pay for the house in cash, was that even a thing?
I wasn't going to pay for it in cash. I was going to go ahead and get a loan and finance the house. I wasn't about to go spend $750,000 on a $600,500. No, on that new. Because honestly, I had told her before the budget for finding the house, we don't need to be over $340,000. She started looking at houses that high.
Was the proof of funds ever a issue?
No, because I never gave it to the realtor because all we did was look at houses and I didn't commit to anything because, again, I told them solely we're just looking right now. And the two realtors that we dealt with, they understood that and they were fine. There was a guy and another lady that she kept dealing with outside of me knowing, and then she take me to a house and they showed me and then they wanted all this financial information. And I was like, we haven't discussed this yet.
Because right then you were just looking.
Yeah, because you wake me up on a Saturday and say, I got an appointment at 12:30. I'm going to go look at this house. And I'm meeting these realtors and they telling me, oh, your wife contacted us and they, this, that, and the third. And I said, again, we're not committing to anything yet. And they understood that because I said, right now, her credit is here. Mine is here. Like I said earlier, I got to get her here. So when we go into this house, because if
the bullshit meter is running off the charts, like the meter is broken. Something about his statement, bro. It's not clicking for me. Because why would she start looking up $700,000 houses when the budget wasn't there? Only reason why it seems like she would do that is because you proceeded to give her a piece of information, piece of paper that gave her the notion that you had 700 bands at the bank when really you ain't had that, bro. All right, tribe. Let me know if y'all want to watch this with me. I ain't gonna take much more of y'all time. I'm just not. Okay. Enough of me. No, seriously, enough of me. This is crazy, bro. This is so crazy. I kind of want to talk about like everything, bro, but I feel like I want to talk about it after we watch this. So hopefully folks gonna want to watch this with me because this shit is 2 hours and 40 minutes. Oh my god. All right, bye, tribe. Yeah, it's the end. Leave a like and share it to your friends and your kin. When I post a video, I'm gonna need y'all to attend. Thank you for the view, but I ain't done with you. 2023, I'm about to be Jordan with the flu. Yeah, join the tribe. Yeah, join the tribe. I'm gonna need y'all to subscribe.